What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The catch. Fam, hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Wednesday. You guys already know what time it is, baby. It's time for some week 3 fantasy Q and A. We've got Steven in the building. What is going on, my guy?
What's happening, brother? Yeah, baby. Week three. Week
Week
three.
three
Maybe better than week 2 and week 1 for the Colts, baby.
might
You think we
be.
got a better chance against the Chiefs than the Texans and the Jaguars? I
Nah,
think
I
so.
don't. I don't.
Choose
Uh,
Mahomes to Davis Mills.
can you believe it is already week 3 though?
Yeah, I mean, it goes quick, man. It goes quick.
Uh,
I think it's going to become better, though, man. We've seen kind of some players fall off, especially at the running back spot, just haven't really played up to their level. So I think we're going to start getting some positive regression for some of these guys. Najee
okay.
Harris, hopefully, get some of these dudes popping.
Najee.
Yeah.
Najee is my guy. Uh, biggest takeaway from week 2, Stephen.
On a personal note, or just like, I mean,
Fantasy wise, on a personal note in general, whatever.
fantasy wise, I think, um, you know, we got to look at people like Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little bit differently than we did. I think that you're seeing guys like Kyle Pitts become a serious question mark. I know there's some people that kind of buy the idea that because of the targets or because of the routes he's been running and how much he's on the field, maybe that's not as big of a concern. But man, I'll tell you what, Drake London looked great 2 weeks down in the books.
I like me some Drake London. Yeah,
I'm a little skittish of Kyle Pitts, man. Definitely a lot of question marks. I think the entire Bills offense is like you need to start them and at the receiver position. I mean, Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, they can literally they're blowing the doors off everybody right now.
how about them Eagles?
Eagles look fantastic, man. I mean, and it's funny too because it was like Hurts was this guy that we viewed as kind of the Lamar Jackson man, but I tell you what, he looks just perfect. He looks
It's
like
good.
everything you want at a quarterback spot. Like
He's
he's
slinging it
efficient.
too.
Yeah, he can really sling the ball, and I think Nick Sirianni has really engineered this offense to be in a place to put him where he needs to be. Like he doesn't have to do too much, and I think it's really he's gonna take off this season, man. I mean, shit, his draft capital got boosted so high, as you know, because
Yeah.
you and I were on him very early, and then he got. I mean, shit, people were taking him at like the fourth, fifth round at times, but I think he returns that value, man.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I have him in 2 leagues. I wish I had him in all my
All of
leagues.
them. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I have him and Herbert in my double quarterback league, and if Herbert can stay healthy, I think I win that league.
But watch out for that doctor, man.
I know. Not
That guy's gonna come for the lung, dude.
We'll talk more about what we've seen throughout the last 2 weeks and everything throughout the night. But y'all know what to do, man. It's time for some week 3 fantasy Q&A. So hop in the live chat. Let us know what's popping, boys and girls. Hit that like button on the way and hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel, we'll go ahead and we'll start seeing who's in the building. We got Jerry. What's up, my guy? We got Tox in the building. Alex, what's up, man? Chase, what's up? Smoking the cat. Guys, place my lineups today. Heading to Cowboy for the next 5 days. Choose 2. Hunt, Hendo, Zeke. I personally go Hunt and Hendo this week.
Same.
Yep. Zeke is scary in a bad way. Ertz is in the next question. Higby or Ertz in full PPR, asked Justin. Full PPR, I might go Higby.
Yeah, I'm going Higby here too, dude. He's getting a shit ton of targets right now.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty wild. And Ertz playing the Rams, not as excited about that after what they did to Dawson Knox week 1. And then obviously Kyle Pitts didn't do anything week 2.
Yeah, Higby has 20 total targets through the first 2 weeks, where Ertz has 15. So, Ertz not in too bad of a spot. He had 11 last week, but he just doesn't have the Rams this week. So,
yeah.
I do like that game script. I've got both as starts in my starts and sits video, but full PPR, I kind of lean Higby as well.
Which is crazy, man. For how long has Higby been irrelevant?
I know.
Hasn't done anything, and now they're throwing him the ball every play.
Yeah, and they had great chemistry at the end of last season, so it's like that's what we missed, man. We missed that one. All right, Juke, what's up, baby? What's up? Let's see here. Angelo, pick two. Pierce, Hall, Edmonds, and full PPR. I go Hall and Edmonds personally.
Ooh, can we break this down a little bit? Maybe it might be a little personal here. You like Hall here? Or is it
Yeah.
just in the comparison here?
In the comparison here, yeah.
John, we haven't talked at all about this backfield in the Jets though, but how do you view this Hall Carter split? At what point do you think Hall's gonna take over, or do you think this could be a Javonte Melvin Gordon situation all season long?
This is definitely personal for Steven.
Very, very personal.
Steven does own both these running backs in one of our leagues. It's tough to say, man. It is. I think it's a frustrating backfield overall, and I the way I look at it is still it's a Javonte Melvin Gordon situation. Yeah, for sure. Until we see something else emerge, like I mean, week 2 you had 13 fantasy points out of Brees Hall, and you had 10 out of Michael Carter. Where week 1 you had 17 out of Carter, and 9.1 out of Brees Hall. You know, they both had 7 rushing attempts in week 2. You know, Carter had more targets at 5 compared to Hall's 1. So
it's a mess.
It's a mess. Whoever scores the touchdown has a better fantasy week. That's how it was in week 1 versus week 2.
Yeah.
So, actually, Carter did not score in week 1. I take that back, but he did have 7 receptions. So, but probably in general, whoever scores touchdown has.
And I don't want to take too much longer on this, but Edmonds and Mostert this week was a little bizarre with Edmonds kind of taking a back seat. Maybe game script a little bit, but any concern there?
No, but it's probably gonna be committee. Like we kind of knew that going into the season. Like I only think Edmonds holds that value in full PPR where he has the potential to catch the football. And it was kind of surprising with that particular game script that Edmonds did not get more involved in.
Right? You know? Yeah.
You would have assumed, yeah. But Mostert, I didn't see that one coming. I'm not gonna lie. But we heard about it. Like there was a lot of buzz right before the season started. So, we gonna do. All right, Emil in the house. What's up, my guy? Hello. Hey, Big Head. Hey, John. This is little bunny hop. What's good, baby?
What's up?
Chase Wellner in the building. What's up? Whose auntie is that on the right? Which right? Let's know, Jerry. Jute. Who should I start at flex? Gibson, Dillon, Drake London, or Cooks, Drake London?
That's a bad man right there. Yeah, I like London. Who would you take second here, John? I kind of feel like see who the Texans got this week. The Bears. I'd probably have to go Gibson. I don't know. Actually,
do the Texans have the Bears?
Texans have the Bears, yeah, in a battle of the heavyweights. Dillon against that Buccaneer stout run D is pretty tough. I don't know about that.
I actually would probably go Gibson just because even though it's not, you got the Eagles and everything, but I still like the game script there. I like when NFC East teams play each other.
Bro, that game was so weird too, week 2, because it's like, why didn't the Vikings run the ball more after what the Eagles just did to Detroit? Like, that was crazy.
Steven, what's up with the headband really showing off the forehead tonight?
This is a last-second edition. It really threw John off for the start.
That's why we were late tonight. Hey, Jane, hello. How do you feel about the Bears defense tonight? Not good.
I mean, I think it's actually better than what I thought it was going to be coming into the season.
That's fair, yeah.
They played relatively decent against Green Bay, and week 1 they didn't do terrible either.
That's, I guess, what I'm thinking of is mainly when I look back on that Green Bay game, I think of points by Green Bay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, 11 points in week 1, 5 in week 2. They get Houston and the New York Giants, so.
Yeah.
We're going to get Madden 23 so I can kick some John S. At the end of the season, I am, because when the offseason begins, I'm just going to stream Madden. So you can kick my ass at the end of the season, my guy. Eagles, Browns, or Chargers defense this week? I'll let Steven answer that one.
We're going to have to go Chargers, Eagles, Browns. If this is a situation where you're trying to go out and find a defense, still all these 3 are available. I think the Chargers have definitely the best upcoming schedule for the next multiple games. But the Eagles have a very favorable one too, going up against Carson Wentz. But definitely I'm going to pound the table on the Chargers here. I think that defense is very good this season.
I would go Chargers as well. What wide receiver can I trade ETN for? Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, man, all those 3 targets this season.
Darnell Mooney is a very easy buy low right now. Maybe DJ Moore. Maybe not Moore quite yet. That'd probably be your best bet in terms of like a true wide receiver one.
Metcalf,
I don't.
I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying you might be able to.
Maybe Metcalf. Metcalf's
Yeah,
probably a fine call. Um,
Judy
Tyler Boyd. I don't think Jerry Judy now because
with the injury, might be able to come after him.
uh, I don't think so personally because he played well enough when he wasn't hurt. That
Yeah,
I don't think so. Like, yeah, I would say Mooney, Metcalf, and DJ Moore are probably like your only true wide receiver ones you can truly buy low right now. Um, you could try for like any Chiefs receiver, but I just think it's way too risky on a weekly basis.
What about Terry McLaurin? He's kind of
Straight
in that
swap.
group. I feel like. I mean, he's played pretty well, but
He's dude. Washington looks good.
I know what the fuck. That was one of the other big takeaways from 2 weeks is that Carson Wentz is the best player in football.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
Dude. Don't hate on McLaurin or that receiving core for that matter. Nick Wilby with the super chat. Thank you very, very much for the $2 super chat. Very kind of you, man. Amari Cooper or Curtis Samuel? I go Curtis Samuel personally. Speaking of Washington,
Okay. Yeah, I like that just because it's a tough matchup.
It's a good upside.
Cooper looked nice, surprisingly.
Looked good last week. Yeah.
I feel bad. Somebody in the comments last week asked me about Cooper, and I was like, "Do not put him in your lineups." Then, of course, this guy goes off for like a freaking his career high, dude. He went nuts last week.
He did. Thursday Night Football versus the Steelers. I don't think he's a bad start this week, but I'm riding Washington's wave. They get the Eagles this week. I think this will be a good matchup, man. I go Curtis Samuel for more upside. Cooper's probably the safer floor, Nick. Rate the 18-man league. Tua, Matt Ryan, Fournette, Jacobs, Jeff Wilson, Chuba, Elijah Mitchell, Jacoby Myers, Judy D. Hop, Shepard, Julio, Kelsey, Albert O. There's no Herbert. Bucks defense, McManus. For an 18-teamer, this team is quite good, actually.
Yeah. I love the kicker and defense. Those are some really sick starts there.
Yeah, for an 18-teamer, this is a solid 9, man. I mean, you got Kelsey in there, Fournette, Jacobs, Jeff Wilson, Eli Mitchell. So you've got the Niners backfield. It's full PPR. I mean, Jacoby Myers, Judy, Shepard, Julio, D-Hop when he comes back. It's not bad. Tua and Matt Ryan, they'll get you through. You might want to drop Matt Ryan. But.
Yeah, you can send that guy away.
Yeah. Andrea, hello. Mark, trade Dylan Bateman and Ertz for Pitts and Lamb. I personally would not.
I think it depends kind of on your situation. Maybe if you're undefeated and you just kind of want to. I do think Bateman is a potential sell high. And Pitts and Lamb, you're buying them at the floor. Lamb might have a good end of season. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough, dude. Those three guys have been kind of playing.
I think Lamb is fine. He played actually better in week 2 than he did in week 1. I still want to do the trade personally. I get what you're saying though. The argument's fine.
I would probably take the deal, but I'm not saying that's the right thing. I think you're giving up a lot here with Dylan and Bateman alone, and I think Ertz is beating Kyle Pitts by a ton as a tight end right now.
Steven likes deals like this, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I do.
How does everyone feel about starting Conklin over Schultz this week? Well, he's a fine streaming option. He's going to be touchdown dependent, of course. He should see enough targets that he can get you a decent floor. And by decent, I mean 6 to 8 points. And Schultz is injured. We're not going to quite know. And they play Monday night, last game of the week. So if you have to do it, Jerry, you have to do it.
Schultz is out of the lineup for me. There's no way I could carry that. But, dude, freaking Joe Flacco's throwing it 50 times a game. He's got to get it to somebody.
Yeah. Who'd you all start, Russell Wilson or Captain? You like that, Kirk?
Oh, that's no question.
Cousins.
Yeah, Cousins here.
Russell Wilson had 17.8 fantasy points in week 1, 12.6 in week 2. He gets San Francisco here in week 3. He's sitting as QB 18 overall. Captain Kirk Cousins, 19.8 fantasy points in week 1, 10.84 in week 2. He gets Detroit in week 3. He is sitting at quarterback 17, one spot under Russell Wilson. I like the game script more for Kirk Cousins. So I go Kirk Cousins as well. Let's see. Matchup with the Texans. It's hard to pass up. Speaking of the Bears defense, yeah, it's a big
dude. Okay, I just gotta jump in real quick on this one, man. I am very skittish of recommending defenses with strong confidence against Davis Mills anymore and the Texans. Yeah. Like they low key are really good at keeping the game close and not turning the ball over. This has like been 2 seasons now where Davis Mills has been pretty good at preventing defenses from balling out. So,
right,
unless it's an elite defense, which the Bears are not, you just can't have true confidence in this anymore.
Yeah, it's like the Texans aren't going to score a lot of points, but they're not going to turn over the football a lot.
Yeah,
you know, where it's like before, they were going to turn over the football and not score a lot of points. You know what I'm saying? So it has changed in that sense. Pierce, AJ Dillon, or Julio. You might be able to go Julio here, but just keep in mind that he might end up going against G.R. Alexander on the night. He might be the true wide receiver 1. So if not, I personally probably go AJ Dillon.
Interesting. So there's a strong fade on Pierce here.
Yeah, I mean, he's touchdown dependent right now. Like, if he doesn't find the end zone, he's got to be in the end zone. Like, he's got to score the touchdown to get the fantasy stat.
Would you go after Pierce as a buy? Sure. Try to capitalize on the owner who probably drafted him way too early and try to get him now?
Yeah, I mean, you can buy him low. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. But you just have to understand, like, he hasn't, like, he's getting the volume and everything.
He looks pretty good when he gets the rock sometimes. I mean,
he had a good game in week 2. He just didn't score.
Yeah.
And, like, that's kind of where the issue is because he's not offering any PPR upside. He has 1 reception in each game this year. But, he had 15 rushing attempts in week 2 for 69 rushing yards. Like, he had a good sorry, I just had a breaking news alert in my area. But he had a good game on the ground. You know, it's just he's not finding the end zone.
Yeah.
And so the Texans, how many points have they put up this year?
Not much. It was like under 15 against the Texans, and it was like 20, I think, against the Colts. So they haven't been doing too well.
I really want to know the answer. They put up 20 points against the Colts.
Yeah.
They tied, and then they put up 9 against the Broncos. They're not scoring a lot. Yeah. Not scoring. All right, trade Cortland Sutton for Joe Mixon. Andrew, it depends on your roster. It's a fair trade, though. Yeah,
it's definitely a fair trade.
Yeah, it depends on the roster, Andrew. Russell Gage, Greggy D, or Breece Hall in the flex. I go Greggy D.
Dude, he's tough, man. He's tough, bro. He's tough.
He's a really good full PPR player, Chase. If I'll say one thing: if Rondell Moore plays, that could affect things, but if he doesn't play, then I go Greggy D, as I've renamed him.
I like that.
If Moore plays, you can consider Hall. Should I trade Sutton Pollard for Amon-Ra? Yes.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because the way I look at that is you're basically doing Sutton for Amon-Ra. You want to do that deal, Jeff?
No.
Sutton for Amon-Ra straight up.
I'm telling you, and I talked about this last night. Like, if you guys bring up Amon-Ra, my answer is probably going to be yes. Like, he's a must start.
Yeah.
If he's your flex,
so good, dude. He's so good.
Yeah. If he's your flex, then you're very, very happy. If he's your wide receiver 2, that's fine. But he is in your lineup every week. And if you can get a deal like this, I like it a lot. Like, it's no knock on Sutton, it's no knock on Pollard. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, if he's fully healthy this season, he's going to be a difference maker, like we saw Jamar Chase on a roster last year. You know,
John, let me ask you: Is he like a top 5-7 receiver
by the end of the year if he's fully healthy? Yeah, in fantasy.
So you don't think just in general? I mean, this guy's killing it, man. For like it's been
a
season and a half now. He's been ripping it.
That's a loaded question. Depends on a lot of factors. He is
I mean,
wide receiver 3 in full PPR at the moment. So,
he's pretty tough, dude.
in that stretch last year, he went from weeks 13 through 18. He had one game where he had 15 fantasy points. Every other game, he had 23 to 35.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened in the first half of the year with him and the Lions.
I don't even think he got playing time. From what I recall,
He did.
I don't
He
think
did.
he really did.
He missed one game.
What was he
No,
like?
he didn't. Actually, he didn't miss a single game. He just
Was he
had
in the
one.
like starting lineup though? Because he was a rookie coming in, right?
Yeah. So you had Cephas there. You had Khalif Raymond.
Cephas. I remember that guy.
Cephas. Yeah, that guy was kept getting him away. Um, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes. To everyone out there at the Mon-Ra questions, answer is yes. Trade Pittman and Henderson for Devontae. It depends on your roster, Coop, but probably
No.
not. Pittman and Devontae a little bit higher than Pittman, but the way that offense looks at the moment, not too much higher. Henderson is a good piece. So, like, if you're in a really good position and you really want Adams, you can consider it. But if it hurts your roster depth, probably not. All right, let's see. Watch out for the Lions team. St. Brown about to ball out, or I mean, is balling out exactly.
Yeah, he's cooking.
Would y'all recommend trading Wayne, Derrick Henry, and Bateman for CMC and full PPR? My wide receivers are Diggs, Evans, Sutton, Hopkins, and Boyd. You could definitely consider this then. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd give up on Henry right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Diggs and Sutton, and when Evans is not suspended for defending Tom Brady's life, your receivers are obviously fine. When Hopkins comes back, you have good value there, and then see him. You're losing Bateman. Steven likes selling Bateman high right now. I'm not totally out on Bateman in terms of like selling him necessarily, but like just think of this as your receivers are fine and you're swapping Henry for CMC, and I'd rather have CMC right now, so I do that trade.
How long until Malik Willis is a starting quarterback?
Did you watch him play against the Bills? Yeah, never. They're gonna.
Dude, he's gonna get in, bro. He's gonna get in. I feel like
they're gonna roll with like the only thing I could see is potentially at the very end of the season.
Yeah,
like potentially. But that's about it. Yeah.
Thank God for the Titans because the Colts would be totally screwed without those guys. Man.
Yeah. Trade Evans and Dillon for Jamar. It depends on your roster, but you could definitely consider this.
I would not.
Steven doesn't like Jamar Chase, even though he's the
it's
only good
true.
fantasy player.
Yeah, he really is. I just think Evans and Dillon are both like top echelon players in their position. Like Dillon's been out touching and had more opportunities than Aaron Jones, and Mike Evans is like an absolute beast. He's the only player on this Bucs receiving core. Sucks that he had to get suspended. That was badass though. That was really cool. But I would do it. I think you're getting really good players for instead of Jamar Chase, who's one really good player.
Man, AJ Dillon out-touched Aaron Jones in week 2, and Aaron Jones had 25 more fantasy points than him.
Yeah.
You're crazy, man. Let's see. Chiefs D or Eagles defense for this week?
I'd go with Chiefs for the 1 week rental, but I do like the Eagles over the next 2 weeks. I think they have the Jags up next after the Commanders. And while the Commanders are really hot right now offensively, Carson's still been throwing picks and he's still been throwing horrible passes if you're watching the games. And Carson is going to fold against his old team. That's going to be a little sad for him, I think.
I talked about this last night. It's like their game. The game has no in between. It's either like Carson comes out and balls, and that means he still does Carson Wentz things and throws a pick and fumbles, but he still balls, or he just plays awful. Like I don't think there's.
Yeah, and I think it's very well possible the Eagles defense does well and Carson Wentz comes out with a decent performance too. So that I don't think it's like exclusive with these guys.
Sure. That's fair. I got Joseph. Do you think it's worth it to get Carlson or McManus for this?
Carlson, 100%. This guy has been killing it now for 2 seasons.
And if you can't, then I will go McManus.
Yeah.
Like I like both of them more than Joseph.
Yeah, Lions are not a great matchup this week.
All right, we hit this one already. Let's see. Ooh, okay, having trouble at the RB position. Please pick two: Connor, Dylan, Najee, Gibby, or Zeke. Well, it depends if Connor's healthy.
Yes, it
Uh,
does.
all right, Steven, if Connor's healthy, are you starting him this week?
That's a really tough one. I think if I had these running backs, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm going Najee first,
You have to
and
start
then
Najee, right?
I actually do have one of the other ones gets in here. I honestly, it's really tough with me. It's between Najee and then Dylan or Gibson. And I think it just really depends on what your thoughts are on this matchup. I think no matter how you cut this Buccaneers Packers game, is the Bucks are still going to score, and the Packers are still going to score, and they're going to have to rely on these running backs. So I'd probably leave Dylan, honestly.
Yeah. Dylan didn't score last week, so he probably has to score this week, right?
Yeah,
But really, I think any combination here is fine. I just leave Zeke off the table for the week.
yeah, which really sucks.
Yeah, it does. Cash Jones, Herbert, Pitts, and Broncos D for Burrow, Mixon, and DK. Do I accept? No. I mean, like, there's value to the Burrow, Mixon, and DK side, but you don't trade Herbert. Uh,
Interesting.
in my opinion, like, Herbert's still untouchable for me. Yeah, he's up
He's the
there
beast, dude.
with Lamar, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen right now for me. Like, and Mahomes even. Like, you're not trading those guys.
I like how you're packaging a defense in the trade. That's awesome.
Broncos D. I mean, it's not the worst trade. Like Pitt, you're getting rid of Pitts. Yeah, you're swapping a defense for DK, which is like that's good value. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that's
And like Burrow's not a crazy drop off from Herbie. You know, he's been disappointing to start the year, but he threw 4 interceptions, had 2 fumbles in week 1, still had 20 fantasy points. You know, but he's going to have a great week against. He's going to bounce back against the Jets. There's no doubt in my mind. Listen,
I'm probably taking it. I'm probably taking the deal.
it's not a bad trade. I would hate to trade Herbert. He's still untouchable for me, but it's not a bad trade.
Yeah.
Steven would take this trade in a heartbeat. If
Oh my
that
gosh.
means anything.
I would kill for this deal. I would
But
kill for it.
Herbert has Jacksonville, Houston, Cleveland, Denver, Seattle, a bye week, then Atlanta. So I'm like,
Oh,
just
it's a tasty match, dude. They're gonna kill it these next 2 games.
I saw that there's like a 75% chance he plays this weekend too. Aaron Reborn, what's up, my guy? Great to have you. What's up, man? Good to have you in the building. Trying to trade Zeke and Devonta, but I'm thinking of just dropping Devonta and picking up Garrett Wilson. That's fine too.
Oh, to drop him, really?
I mean, it depends on the roster, but like I'm not out on Devonta Smith. He had a really good week too, especially in full PPR.
Yeah,
and he was actually involved in the game and caught footballs that were thrown his way. But Garrett, like I think Devonta Smith is a safe floor player. Garrett Wilson's a high ceiling player with some boomer bust. Like, and we kind of talked about this a little bit before this stream. Like, I'm in on Garrett Wilson as like a win now piece who you can take the risk on. But there is a point to be made that we have a very small sample size for Garrett Wilson, and we need to be just a little bit cautious, you know. But like the way that rookie receivers have gone the last 2 years, I would roll the dice. I would roll the dice right now.
Well, the Utah Cowboys coming around the corner too, Mr. Zach Wilson. Is that too cool of a name for him? The Utah Cowboys.
I never heard that. Yeah,
the Mormon gunslinger.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know exactly. That's another thing. Like, what's the difference between Zach Wilson at quarterback versus Joe Flacco for Garrett Wilson? We don't quite know. I mean, Joe they're just like, throw the ball, Joe. I don't know what else to do, you know, and he's throwing it. So
he's actually playing well. And like, as much as I want to make fun of Joe Flacco, like they're giving him so much volume, and he's not even like turning it over that much. And he's relatively efficient. Like, I literally considered streaming him this week. Like I was just
stream.
Yeah, like I'm pretty impressed with Joe Flacco. I've been thoroughly surprised, and I don't think they want to give the job back to Zach Wilson when he's healthy.
They might not. I mean, dude, I'm literally trying to search Joe Flacco, and like he does not come up.
Okay, his head is so big; he doesn't even like fit on the picture. I feel like
he's got 1 pick, 1 fumble on the season. He's QB 10.
I mean, it's crazy, bro.
He gets Cincinnati, and then he gets Pittsburgh, Miami, and by then, like
Yeah.
Wilson should be back. So we'll see what happens. Should I start Mariota or Tua? I'd probably go Tua.
Oh, okay. Switch it up. Okay.
Actually, Tua's got the Bills.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's just for the 1 week, though. I mean, I think Tua's going to be better this season for sure.
Yeah, I agree. The safer floor is Mariota. He gets Seattle. Yeah, I go Mariota.
Yeah.
Tua is the risk, but I'm not risking anything against the Bills defense or the Bills in general. Would you trade Debo Samuel for J. Rob and Curtis Samuel on half PPR? It depends on your roster. Like Debo's still the best player involved here, as good as J. Rob has been, and as valuable as a piece as Curtis Samuel has become. But it's still Debo. Like I think Debo might get better now that Trey Lance is out the picture too.
I do too. I would not do that deal.
Yeah. Spencer's mad you called Scary Terry and buy low.
Yo, Spence, man. You don't know how long I've been waiting to beat you, man. I was telling my mom, I was like, I need to beat Spencer this week. Like, I seriously, that was the only thing I cared about, dude.
I thought you guys matched up. I play Spence this week in the auction league.
He's got a great team. He had a great team.
He usually does.
Yeah, he's good.
Except his quarterback sucks. My running backs are Mixon, Najee, Dillon, and Edmonds. My receivers are Evans, Pittman, Godwin, and Drake London. Should I make a trade for possibly a better receiver? I don't think you necessarily need to, because I think if you do, then A, you're losing one of the receivers you already have, or B, you're losing some of this running back depth, which is very thin, where you can roll with Pittman. Like, it hurts this week, right? Because you're going Pittman, Drake London, then you're having to flex Edmonds probably. But overall on the season, when Evans is not suspended for defending Tom Brady's soul and all of his precious blood that he needs to re-drink in his elixirs to continue to beat Tom Brady.
He's weird looking, man.
He's looking a little rough, but he's still Tom. Looks better than me. And when Godwin is fully healthy, like, this receiving room is good. So it depends on like the rest of your bench and everything. As you're saying, I was thinking about flipping Dillon for receiver. I mean, you can, but then like, what are you gonna do at running back? You're gonna have Najee Harris and Chase Edmonds, so it kind of impacts your roster negatively.
I think the only person or package I would consider about doing here is maybe flipping Edmonds and Godwin in a package for somebody a little bit more reliable, because as I was skittish this entire offseason, I am very skittish about Godwin now.
And then you still have Evans
coming back. Yeah, and then you've got Evans on the other side. It's like, do you really want to be loaded up on an offense that just doesn't look like what it was these past 2 seasons?
Yeah, I don't feel crazy about having Evans and Godwin, because it's just like, it's a headache. Like, you're rooting for one and the other, and they don't always co-perform. Well, they do enough, but
in the past it was that way, but I mean, it just doesn't seem like this offense is like that anymore. And I think a large part of that is the O-line, but I also think Tom Brady hasn't really been the same so far, and I do expect him to get better through the season, but I don't want that much capital at one position on one team.
Sure. If Dotson and Tim are both throwing out massive games, defenses will have to change schemes, and he won't see as many doubles.
I like
Dotson.
I like both those guys. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And McLaurin.
Yeah, it's a good receiving room, bro. What's up, guys? Keep Julio Jones or pick up Walker? I keep Julio for now with all the injuries and things popping up over there. Yeah.
That's interesting. I guess it's team specific, but I'll probably go Walker.
Monrod, new Cooper Kupp. I mean, you probably got him a little bit earlier than Kupp went last year, but he could be that kind of. In terms of players in the mid rounds, like Michael Thomas is probably the most valuable player to emerge, because Amon-Ra is kind of like a 4th rounder, beginning of the 4th. So, Kupp was closer to like the 5th round last year. So Amon-Ra is still pretty close. But,
yeah. You're still happy. And
you're still happy.
Yeah.
Pick 3: Michael Carter, Brendan Cooks, Lazard, Deontay, or Curtis Samuel. I'd probably go Cooks, Deontay, and Curtis Samuel personally.
Yeah, me too.
DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel at my flex. I go Curtis Samuel right now, man. I don't want any piece of DJ Moore.
I don't want Marshawn Lattimore. That's what I don't want. So yeah,
Uh,
I'll go Curtis Samuel right now. That Saints defense is going to beat Baker Mayfield up probably.
I saw your advice in running backs, but I'm going with Carter and Pollard. That's fine, man. Like I said in the comment, like I think you have a safe floor and a safe stat line with all three running backs you have. So, and the way your team
Yeah,
operates, it doesn't even matter, Jerry.
his
Like
team is sick.
your four receivers and your quarterback give you the opportunity for 150 fantasy points alone every single week. So, like, literally, if your running backs get you anywhere between 7 and 12 points, you're probably going to win every single week. Your bigger problem at the moment is tight end with Schultz being injured. But once again, it really doesn't even matter because the combination of fucking Diggs, Adams, Kirk, who
Williams, Mike
Mike
Williams.
Williams, and Josh Allen
Doesn't he have
is.
Devontae Adams? Did you already say that?
I see Adams.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's like disgusting, bro. Like I'm so jealous of that receiving core.
it's definitely, and with the way like you think about late round running backs this year and mid round running backs like CEH and James Robinson, even guys like Carter and Pollard and Damian Harris, who Jerry has, like uh, zero running back was probably the way to go
Oh
this
yeah.
year.
So
Yeah.
far that's the big winner out of this, man.
Yeah, like the only running back in the first round who I feel like it really feels elite to me right now is DeAndre Swift, who
Yeah,
didn't even go in the first round in all of drafts.
yeah.
Like CMC and Eckler have been fine, and
Well,
JT had
I'm
one
not
better.
happy with it though, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, you would expected more.
sure. I don't trust Gordon. Damon Harris might or might not be injured. Yeah, I think you're fine to go with those two for various reasons,
Yeah, I
including
don't
your
feel bad
team
for you,
is
Jerry.
just
I don't feel
ridiculous.
bad.
Jerry, I am serious. I really think it would be a bad idea to trade any of your receivers. Like, I think your team, even if you pick up a semi decent, consistent running back, I think your team dips in value if you
Yeah.
trade any one of those receivers. Uh, would you trade Cup, Godwin, Connor, Hawkinson for Debo, Monroe, Henry, and Kittle?
Oh, interesting
Uh,
deal here.
I probably wouldn't trade Cup. I
Wait,
really
so
like
he
him.
gets Henry, Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra, and Debo
I
Samuel.
You're gonna have to clarify, Jackson, if that's Hunter Henry or Derrick Henry.
That's a big difference. That's
if
a
it's
big difference.
if it's Derrick Henry, then I'd probably take this trade because then you have to look at it as like Debo's an upgrade over Godwin. Derrick Henry's close enough to Connor. Kittle's close enough to Hawkinson. Then Amon Ra versus Cup. Cup is still up here. Hey, we talked about Amon Ra. I love the dude, but Cup
Yeah,
is number
Cup is
one
Cup.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Cup is Cup.
And very rarely, like I talked about untouchable quarterbacks, Cup is still like untouchable for me. Like Cup and JJ, like they're still in their own tier, even if JJ got shut down by Darius Slay. Like, and I love Amon Ra. Like I said, almost all your questions about Amon Ra. And I'm looking at the recent chats, and Jackson says it is Derrick Henry. So,
I'm taking that
uh,
deal. I'm taking that deal.
yeah,
It's
like
scary,
listen,
man. It's real
it's
scary,
scary.
but jeez.
You just have to know like what you're giving up when you give up Cooper Cup. Like you have to be prepared, especially when you face him later in the season. Like, oh yeah, I traded this guy,
Well,
and you have to be prepared to see him ball. But like, I think if Amon Ra is healthy, he could be a top 3 receiver on the season without a doubt. So just think of it: Amon Ra over Cup, Debo over Godwin, you win there. Henry over Connor, you're probably
I think you win
yeah,
big
I
time.
think you still win there. Kittle over Hawkinson.
You
They both have
hands down.
injury issues.
Yeah.
Kittle, when healthy, is better. I probably take the deal as well, but you just have to be prepared.
It's scary.
Cup's not on
close
your
eyes.
team.
It's
Yeah.
a close your eyes and accept.
What is a receiver I can get if I want to trade AJ Dillon? Probably a little bit more value out of Dillon, but it just kind of depends because he's still a committee, so managers are going to look at him as a capped ceiling. But you probably want to go out and look at teams that are thin at running back, and then just offer a straight up deal for one of their less valuable receivers.
Metcalf. That's the guy that keeps coming to mind whenever I think about
Yeah, it's hard to say like what is a specific player can get for this specific player because you really have to look at rosters out there and overall just try to make an offer to the best potential team if that makes sense. Do I start Aguilar over DJ Moore?
Wow, that's where we've gotten, huh?
Or you have Hollywood Brown and Curtis Samuel. Listen, I talked about this in the waiver wire video. Aguilar had a good week and everything, but I don't think he's going to be consistent. Like really in full PPR, the consistent player is going to be Jacoby Myers. Aguilar is going to be one of these. He's going to be up and down. So, that being said, you could start him over DJ Moore, who Stephen alluded to has Marshawn Lattimore up against him this week, and just isn't performing very well outside of that. So,
which sucks, man. He's such a talent. It really, he's been cursed with bad quarterbacks.
We are so behind on the chat. It's not even funny.
Oh, wow. I just saw that. Holy
shit. We have to give a quick shout out. We have two legends in the house. We have Ben Michelson and Tyler in the house.
Hey, boys. Michael Carter. Michael Carter.
Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. Thanks for being here tonight. Let's see here. Zero Destroyer. Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys pick one? Zeke, Curtis Samuel, Kirk, or Brandon Cooks?
Kirk for me, for sure.
Yeah. Not even a question.
Auto start.
Yeah, Kirk is in your lineups right now. Do I trade Dalvin, Golf, AJ Brown for Lamar, Amon-Ra, Miles Sanders? What? Okay, you lose AJ Brown, I get it, and you lose Dalvin, so like. But really, Dalvin's ceiling hasn't been crazy. Where Miles Sanders has been consistent this year. You're getting Lamar for Jared Goff. You get Amon-Ra. Like this, Amon-Ra is playing better than A.J. Brown, and then you gain the extra value of Bateman. Yes, you do this trade.
Sanders has been playing better than Dalvin Cook this season, too.
He has. Yeah. Yes, you do this trade. I love this trade, Seth.
I like it, too.
Look at Steven. Used to be a Colts fan. See the Colts struggling. The Bills doing good. Switch bandwagons.
Whoa, chill out, Frey. Chill out, dude. We got to realize this Colts team is looking very scary. All right? I'm a little nervous. Tears in the eyes.
Garrett Wilson or Christian Kirk. I probably still go Christian Kirk right now. Let's get a larger sample size. Hold on to Garrett Wilson, but I'd probably still go Christian Kirk. Juke, would you guys prefer Eckler and Higgins or Aaron Jones and Michael Pittman? I'd go Eckler and Higgins. Yeah, speaking from
until Pitty comes full health, I think that's the right move.
Speaking from personal.
Yeah, I'm sure you would think that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to rely on him this week too against Jacksonville. Which I mean, the Jags. I think the Chargers defense is going to smoke them, but with Herbert being a little banged up, hopefully he plays. Because if he doesn't play, I don't know if you've seen that backup quarterback, but literally the only thing he can do is run the ball. So, actually, no, it's Chase Daniels now. But they're going to probably bring in Stick to their third stringer. But yeah, Chase Daniel, that offense is not going to be the same without my boy Herbert.
What up? CMC for St. Brown and Javonte Williams. He wins. I probably go the St. Brown side. I listen. CMC is the better running back, but he's not like he's offering insane ceilings at the moment. That could change. Like it can any moment. But St. Brown is just a piece on your fantasy roster that you should try and get if you can. I think it's a fair enough trade.
Yeah, I think Javante's got a brighter future ahead of him too this season.
Brighter futures for Javonte. Yeah. What's a trade y'all recommended? My running backs are Mixon, Najee, Dillon, Edmonds, my receivers. All right, I think we've touched on this more than once. So we can get back to it if we need to, Dan, for sure. Let's see. All right, we already hit this one.
Dude, the chat is pretty nuts tonight.
Yeah, we're so behind. Sorry, chat. We were super behind. Love you guys.
It's John's fault.
It's my fault. I'm still moving at COVID pace, so I'm just like.
Yeah. Get the long COVID.
Yeah, my cat's in the building now. If you guys hear screeching.
Oh yeah, I heard a little screech. I like that. Oh man, still going at it.
What do you think of Henry right now? Buy versus sell. If it's sell, could you give a couple trade targets? So it depends on what you need on your roster overall. I think you can trade Henry for just about like any lower tier running back. And to the right team, like there are still fantasy managers. Like if you just put them on the trading block, like you're going to get pretty decent offers and be able to make negotiations. But once again, this is a circumstance where you probably need to look around at teams that are running back needy right now. Who's the team with James Conner right now? Uh,
Yeah.
Who's the team, maybe with Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift, Leonard Fournette? Uh, they drafted J.K. Dobbins and had faith in him. Look to teams that are weak at running back.
Yeah, I think ultimately though you got to it's very close with Henry because it's really, do they look at this Titans offense as a dumpster fire and just give him the ball every play? I kind of say this might be closer to a sell with Luong going down and this offensive line really being in shambles.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's probably out for the season. All right, let's see here. Should I look to trade Najee and J Rob for CMC, Barkley, or JT? Najee and J Rob would probably rather have. I like the depth there.
Yo, give him some kitten mittens, bro.
Everyone's say hi to the, oh my god. Jeez. I like the trade value or the depth value here a little bit more by keeping Najee and J Rob. If I had to trade for one, it's probably still JT.
Yeah, I'd still target JT here. I think the Colts are going to start turning in the right direction and just really focusing on him again.
He had a bad week too, but he still had 27 fantasy points.
Look at week 1. Yeah, he killed it.
What's up, Litsky? Good to have you here. Jared, does anybody want to do a fantasy draft at 10 p.m. Eastern time? I need one more. Guys, give Jared a shout. ESPN League. Couldn't see Festa, Wisconsin legend.
Wait, was he really? That's
I didn't even know that. Prey traded AJ Brown for Monra. I like it. We talked about that.
That's a nice deal. That's interesting. I like both those guys though. Pretty. AJ Brown killed it too. We won.
How do you guys feel about Kirk for the rest of the season? He'll be fine, man. He's balling. Don't trade Kirk. Come on. Keep your receivers.
Yeah. Why were you trying to trade me him for David Montgomery, man?
We all told him not to do that.
I was an idiot for overthinking it, man. I was sitting in my bed. I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? And Jerry was like, sleep well and think about a great trade. And I still freaking folded, man.
How do you feel about your number one pick, Steven?
I'm happy with it, man. I mean, I understand. I think some people are a little disappointed about week 2, but that's not JT's fault. That was literally the Colts. I think JT is still going to be. I would say he's still going to be the best running back by a decent margin this season.
Barkley for Najee is scary to me. Both terrible offense injury history, but I agree probably the only one on the table. Miles Sanders for Javonte. I'm fine with that, but like I said, Sanders is good this year, man.
I might capitalize on it, but yeah.
What's up, Albert? Good to have you here. Let's see here. Dalvin Cook is good by low, but I'd sell him instantly. Yeah, I talked to Steven about that.
Yeah.
Would you do Diggs and Pitts for Andrews, CD, and MT?
Oh,
I would not trade Diggs.
Oh, Diggs, no way. That guy.
The rest of the equation is good.
Yeah.
But I would not trade Diggs. Diggs is untouchable right now. He's wide receiver 1. Will he finish as wide receiver 1? Probably not, but very, very possible. And if he doesn't, he's still probably in the top 3 the way he's playing. So,
gosh, he's so cool.
Yeah, we're pretty far behind Gray. Took the advice, kept Monty instead of trading for Higgins with JJ and hopefully having Godwin Gallup for Burks be something significant soon. For now, plain Uke. I think your team's fine, man. Your team's still pretty good overall, though.
I like Burks too. I think he's going to have a good second half of the season for sure.
Yeah. Mariota, we hit that one. Let's see.
We saw it, Prey. We saw
it. Would you trade up Godwin, Hawkinson? Oh, we hit this one.
But this is making me feel a little bit better about our progress. We've hit a couple duplicates. Couple dupes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Who would you trade? Najee or Kamara? I mean, they both have injuries right now.
I'd say Kamara.
You probably get more value out of Kamara.
Great picture, Richie. Great picture.
Yes, nice picky, bro. Need a RB2. Go James Robinson.
Yeah, no question.
All right, we're doing flash answers. Thanks, fellas. Trying to trade one of them for wide receiver one. I have Mike Williams, Waddle, Pitts. Yeah, trade for Williams or Waddle, actually, probably Waddle. Should I flex Deontay Johnson or Kareem Hunt? They play each other. I'd flex Deontay for a safer floor, Hunt for more upside. Got Najee, ET, and J. Rob Harris Carter. Definitely a trade somehow. LMAO, ET is my worst fantasy pick by far. Hey, Catch. Hey, Steven. What QB do you like this week if Herbert doesn't play, Carr or Wentz? Also, do you like Curtis Samuel over Damian Pierce and Flex? I think you can go Carr or Wentz. Carr probably has a better matchup. So maybe go Carr, and I go Curtis Samuel. Definitely. Yeah. Stober, what's up, baby? Ron the GOAT, what's up, my guy?
What's up, Ron? Yep. What's up, Ron?
Scary Terry or Myers? I go Scary Terry. Not even a question for me. Myers is still okay. Need a tight end. Kyle Pitts or Irv Smith. Go Irv Smith. Yep.
Oh, that's sad.
That's sad. Start Wentz or Burrow. You still go Burrow. Still go Burrow. He gets the Jets. I have Kelsey. Who should I pick up for his bye week coming? Hopefully off the waiver. Hopefully, yeah. If Everett's there, he shouldn't be. If Higbee's there, he shouldn't be. Snag him up.
Pat F. I like Pat F too.
Pat F should never have been dropped in any leagues. He did get dropped in some leagues. Yo, Pat F is the truth, bro. I can't believe
he is tough, man. That snap count percentage with them is pretty good.
Yeah, she's doing good. He's doing good, I should say. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh wow. Okay, we're getting pretty caught up here.
Yeah, we're good, man.
Yeah, we're getting pretty caught up here. We hit this. Wait, I think I got some doubles.
My forehead extends the closer we get up the chat.
Would you drop Curtis Samuel, Christian Kirk, J. Robert Hendo for Schultz or Hawkinson? I don't want to drop any of these players.
Heck no.
If we have to drop one, it's maybe Hendo.
Oh, dude. I mean, do you have to? Definitely. Yeah. It's like maybe the last thing. I would sell a kidney before doing this, man.
Yeah. Should I trade McLaurin, receive A-Rob, Everett, and Tua?
It's a decent haul.
I mean, yeah, it's a decent haul. Depends on your roster and how bad you need the other players.
Yeah.
Ben, thoughts on Pitts moving forward? I think we're all a little bit scared.
Yeah. In all transparency, I think that I think you're going to see more come his way soon, but you're really just not going to be able to rely on him any more than you're going to be able to rely on any tight end, though. So you can't really get rid of him because it's like, what are you going to take, Hawkinson or Higbee? I'd rather have Kyle Pitts.
Who's the most valued, Debo or Kelsey? Kelsey. Yeah. Kelsey. Let's go, Ben. Tyler, what's up, boys? Johnny, listen this week. I probably am. I mean, let's be realistic. I probably am.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Should I cut Matt Ryan and get Jimmy G? Probably.
Yes, get rid of that guy.
Screw Matt Ryan. He sucks.
Yeah.
Would you guys trade Kamara and DJ Moore for Lenny, MT, and Curtis Samuel? I would consider it, yeah. I would consider it. New sub here. Let's go. I love can you see the picture, Steven?
Dude, this photo is amazing and also makes me cry at the same time. This is amazing. I love it.
What do you think about this trade? Burrow for Mariota and Christian Kirk. I'm getting Mariota and Kirk with Wentz as my current QB2 behind Burrow. If you really need help at receiver, I don't hate it, but you're still losing. Like, the best quarterback in this entire equation is Burrow, hands down.
Yeah, I'd like to know that receiving core a little bit more that you already have, but I do think Kirk's here to stay, man. This is a guy who might be top 12, which is pretty crazy by the season end.
Bruno, hey, what's up, guys? Should I trade Mike Williams, Jeff Wilson, and Bateman for Pierce and Debo?
No, man.
No.
That's like an offer I would try to give somebody.
Philly defense for Pittsburgh. I would go Philly, right, Steve?
Philly. Get those birds in there.
Should I start Hendo or Penny for ESPN League? Ask Benji. I would go Hendo.
Yeah, Penny is getting very close to being not relevant. Pretty soon here, especially with Kenneth Walker coming back.
I go Hendo.
Yeah. Hey
man, would you rather start AJ Dillon or Brandon Cooks? I'd probably go AJ Dillon this week.
Yeah.
you start T. Higgins or Sutton?
Sutton.
Probably Sutton by a hair. Yeah.
You got to, especially with Judy still being banged up.
Should I try to waste CD Lamb or Scary Terry?
Neither really, but dude, it's so hard for me to want to trade CeeDee Lamb, especially where
Yeah.
you drafted him, because you're gonna get like absolute pebbles. Like you're not getting anything for where you drafted him, honestly.
Sutton or Allen Robinson? Sutton.
Yeah.
Since Jerry Judy won't play this week, I need help with my wide receiver 2 to flex this week. My options are Deontay Johnson, Garrett Wilson, Miles Sanders. Say floor Deontay Johnson or Miles Sanders. Upside is Wilson. I probably want to go Wilson.
Okay, I'd probably lean on the side of Miles Sanders and Miles Sanders and Garrett Wilson would be the two guys I like here most.
Should I trade D Hop for Hilaire? I don't have a problem with that.
If you can get him, yeah.
Hilaire is playing very good. He's, I think, running back 6 right now.
Yeah, he's looking fantastic.
Timeout with Henry. What's up, bro? Put 2 or Murray in this week. Murray,
for sure. Yeah. Didn't tell you what, man. It was like watching a video game on that 2-point conversion, dude. He is fun to watch, man. It's funny how Cliff Kingsbury really just should put the play sheet down and just let this guy play back street football, man.
Should I start Kamara this week if he's healthy? Absolutely. Should I be thinking about moving on from Pitts or Brady?
Definitely Brady. You need to start thinking about.
Thinking is fair, but don't drop anyone yet.
Yeah, and I would say you gotta get a trade for Pitts. You can't drop him.
All right. Hey, I need to. Steven, you got to run it for a second.
Okay.
Be right back.
Where are we at? Let me get the comments going here.
You can start from the bottom if you need to.
Word. All right, boys. We got Jerry up in the house here. The Legos videos were nice. Kind of reminds me of Rodrigo Blankenship, which is pretty sad here. And guys, I'll tell you this right now. I am pretty pumped about having Johnny Boy back and doing the streams. I felt real bad for him with COVID. So if you guys have not already, definitely give him a little bit of a high five for being back. I'm going to pull it back here a little bit. Prey saying, how cold is it in your house with the scarf on? So this is actually, Prey, this is a part of my robe. I have a robe. I often wear it after I get out of my showers. And it got unattached from the actual piece of clothing. So just kind of wrapped it around my head, keep my hair out of my eyes. You know what I mean? I've got to stay focused when I'm talking to the catch. It does add a little flavor, though. I do appreciate that. And guys, got to give a shout out here to the Catch fam. Thank you so much for all the love and support on the defense video. It's really popping this week, guys. Really appreciate it. And I did drop some great defenses. I hope you do get some of those Chargers shares. I think they're going to be fantastic this season and definitely over the next 5 games. Okay, I think we're actually, this is, all right, so I pulled it up here. We're getting pretty close here. Ben's giving some love to the Birds. Tell you what, those Eagles, they look great. I had a Super Bowl future on them. I had them and a couple other teams, and I think the Eagles for sure are looking like a actual NFC contender this season, which is pretty wild. All right, let's see here. Man, Tua, seeing some Tua conversation. Tua is an interesting one because you got to look at that as a little bit of a blimp on his career record so far. Comes out and has 40 points against the Ravens. This is a terrible matchup against the Bills. You can't have true confidence this week with him. But with Waddle and Hill, just in general, if you did go after him hard this waiver week, you got to look at this guy as minimum a top 14 quarterback on the season. So Tua this week, it might be tough, but I think if you got him, man, this could be, I think this could be a good snack. Tua Murray, yeah, definitely Murray. Let's see here. And I just wanted to get back real quick to that one comment about the Pitts or Brady being a little concerned. This stuff with Brady, you got to look at this in kind of a couple different ways. It's really bad right now, and I do think if you were in a serious pinch, you can start considering dropping him. But I do have some optimism on Brady to get it together, especially on the back half of the season. And you don't want to be in a spot where you drop a guy like Brady for a quarterback that is like a Carson Wentz or like maybe, I don't know, a Jared Goff, if you're really just trying to get a deep burner, even a Tua. And then you've got Tom Brady really pumping it out at the end of the season because he's got all those guys healthy. So I know there's a lot of people out there who invested heavy into Tom Brady. Don't make any rash decisions. If you can, though, and you can roster 2 quarterbacks, I think that's the best way to handle that kind of spot. And that kind of goes with those other quarterbacks, too, that are also struggling. Like Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. A-Rod may be a little bit different. He might be a little bit more concerning to me just because I think that offense is a little bit of a hot mess. But, we got Johnny Boy back in the building. Was the kitty getting a little feisty, brother? Huh? Was it pooping and peeing? What's good?
No, the baby's sick, so we're probably going to have to call this short here.
Okay, well, let's do it. I told them I was giving them some advice on Tom Brady, but I'm glad you're back with us.
Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we were only supposed to go for an hour, so we'll go ahead and cut it.
Yeah.
I'll have to cut it short. Baby's sick, so wife needs me. So I will be on. Steven might be on tomorrow before kickoff as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Let's get it.
So 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Should I pop the robe back in? I got a couple nice comments on the robe piece, so I think we might have to have it back in here.
You should. Guys, I appreciate you guys so much for being here tonight, man. Sorry we have to cut it short. Hit the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel. Check out all the links down below. Hop on Discord if you guys need help in the meantime. If you guys have any questions we did not get to tonight, sorry we did not get to every question. The chat was going crazy. So thank you guys so much for the participation tonight. Shout out to all the new subscribers who joined the Catch Fam tonight and everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you guys so much. But apologize, guys, for having to cut it short. But we'll be back on tomorrow night. I'll be on Friday night and Saturday night for more fantasy Q&A if you guys have any questions. So, Steven, you want to go ahead and you got anything you want to add?
Hey, had a blast tonight, guys. Good to get everybody back together. And, just shout out to everybody who jumped on tonight. Shout out Benji. Shout out T-Pain. Love y'all. And let's get into it, man. We got another one tomorrow before the game, more than likely.
Let's go. All right. That'll do it for tonight's stream. So thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And cheese.